Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon. And I've done harvest, I stare at the sun. With my two hands in the air. Hi, Tiana, I'm on the radio station and I can't talk right now. A very special good morning to all of those who are paying attention, listening, locking in. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. It's time to wake up with Auntie Dia. Can you get your cup of coffee, get your cup of tea, and let's just have a good time this morning right here on ZDK Liberty Radio. I started off this morning with a laugh, there's always something to smile about. It doesn't matter what is going on. So we're going to begin this morning by just, finding something to smile about and just being grateful. I am your host, Auntie Dia. Let's get ready to have a really exciting morning for the next hour. If you would just join me, would you? Hey, yeah, so we're going to lift up our hands and just be grateful this morning. Yes, 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 yes. Good morning, good morning. I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. Time into my strength, I'm testimony. Time with my two hands in the air, as far as I can. As far as I can. I can, yeah. My two hands in the air, as far as I can. We're just going to continue to lift our two hands and be grateful. I am actually still celebrating. Yes, I am. I am very, very grateful that 4 years ago, I gave my heart to God and I am still standing. He continues to strengthen me. He continues to sustain me. I have let my hair down. If you're connecting on Facebook, ZDK Liberty Radio, or YouTube, DIA Learning Academy, you will see that I have my hair down and I'm just ready to give thanks this morning. What are you giving thanks for this morning? I mean, you woke up, that should be the very first thing. What else are you grateful for? Are you grateful for whatever it is that is going on in your community? Are you grateful that we are slowly switching into the Christmas season? Are you grateful for family? Are you grateful for friends? I'm grateful for my family. I have my sister there who's in Texas. That's a beauty. Good morning to you, my mom over there in New York. I know it might be getting a little cold. Yeah, it might be getting a little cold, but you guys just keep being strong. I'm grateful for my family who lives right here in the islands. My father back home, my brother and sister right here in Antigua. Boy, my beautiful, beautiful baby girl. Good morning, baby Triumph. Good morning, good morning. I am grateful for family. I'm grateful for friends. I'm grateful for my church family. Yes, Miracle Ministries International. That's my church family. I am grateful for so many things. I am grateful for those of you who are joining me. Melistic Hair Care. Yes, that's my girl there. Good morning to you, darling. She says she's ready for work, getting ready for work. That's good. Good morning, honey. Thank you for tuning in. This is Youth Envision, and we are slightly moving into the Christmas version of this. I'm looking forward for some exciting time with you. If you would just continue to join me, continue to just have a good time right here every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. on ZDK Liberty Radio. Oh, every morning
I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. Yeah. Lift up my eyes, still is a blessed moment. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sometimes I'm lost and far from home, but I find my way. I follow my heart, I know I'll be found someday. While I'm lost, I learn and live. What do you say? Let's have a good time until that day. Oh,
Yeah, so we're just gonna continue, even though sometimes young people we can be a little lost. We just like he said, we're just gonna learn, we're just gonna live, we're gonna take every part of life as a lesson. If it was good, hey, we enjoyed, we celebrate. And if it wasn't as comfortable as we would want it to be, we're still gonna just learn from it and continue to live. I want to give a special shout out again to my sister there, Melistic Hair Care. Very nice young lady there, specializing in the natural hair. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you there. We're going to support each other as young people. That's one of the things we can do, support each other as young people. So I have a very special show for you this morning. I'm going to be talking a bit about the mental health of our young people during a pandemic, which we are still going through, sadly. Yeah, and we're going to be sharing a little bit about that. And I was hoping to have some guests with me this morning. But you know how that is, whether they're on or not. We're still going to keep the show rolling. We're going to keep the show rolling. Yes, we are. So if you're joining me on Facebook, ZDK Liberty Radio, leave a comment, say good morning. Let me know what you're grateful for. If you're joining me on YouTube, DIA Learning Academy, leave a comment. Let me know how grateful you are, to be alive, to be spending time, just there having something, whatever you're about to do today. And if you would like to call in, you can do that too. The number is 462-1100. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a discussion about life and young people. So for the next 2 minutes, we're just going to continue to be grateful. We're going to continue to look for things to be grateful for. That's one of the best ways to start your morning. And we want to instill that in the young people. When you wake up every morning, just be grateful. Just be grateful. Just be grateful. Take a few minutes to express a moment of gratitude. Just make a list. You can write it down. It will be a good thing to look back on. There's something you can start, young people. It's called a thank you journal. Because sometimes I think like we feel that we are a little too entitled as young people. So one of the things we can really do is, perhaps start a thank you journal. Look for the simple things that we are grateful for and just continue to celebrate that. It might be something interesting that you can look back on and just enjoy. So we can try that, right? That's your homework, young people. If the parents are joining me, wake them up, let them know Auntie Dia is on the radio, and Auntie Dia is going to be talking about some really interesting stuff. So I hope that they're paying attention, that they're rising and shining. 8 o'clock is good enough for them to wake up on a Saturday morning. Yes, wake them up.
oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. Yeah. Lift up my eyes, still is a blessed moment. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Okay. So thank you so much for, expressing your moment of gratitude. There's a special lady that I would like to always say good morning to again, Miss Phyllis Marie. How are you doing? She said, good morning on blessings from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much. I am grateful for you. I am grateful for you, Miss Phyllis, always joining me on a Saturday morning. You are amazing. God bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So we're going to continue to be grateful for another minute or so. And then we are going to be talking about the mental mental health of our young people in a pandemic. This is something that we really may have cast a blind eye over, and that is something that we really need to be paying attention to. So we're going to talk about that in about a minute or so. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Lawrence Mason. Good morning to you, sir. Veteran in the business. I look up to you. I look up to you. Good morning to you. Good morning. And thank you for joining me this morning.
Lift up my eyes to live, I'm testimony. With my two hands in the air, as far as I can. As far as I can.
Good morning to you, Carolyn Richards. Good morning, good morning. You're watching from New York. Good morning. Good morning to you again, Bachelor Harris. I want to make sure I say your name correctly, so I'm going to choose the easier one. Sorry. Yes, so good morning to you. You're also watching from New York. Thank you. Continue to give God thanks. Yes, we continue to give God thanks. That's something we want to do. We want to just be grateful. Thank you for joining me right there on our Facebook page, ZDK Liberty Radio 97.1. Yes, so as we continue to, we ease a little bit into the topic for today, which is the mental health of our young people in the pandemic, of COVID-19. I just want us to go back, way, way back to a very, very encouraging song there from an icon, Michael Jackson. Yes.
There comes a time when we need a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. Can we day by day? Because I know somewhere soon we could change. God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need.
Okay, so we want to remember, our children who continue to brave through the season of COVID-19. And I had done a little bit of research, not a very big research. I just did a quick search. And UNICEF has actually published an article titled The Impact of COVID-19 on the Mental Health of Adolescents and Youth. The impact of COVID-19 on the mental health and adolescents and youth. And that is something that we perhaps need to be looking at a little bit. I mean, yes, we want our children to be learning right now. We want them to still do well in school. We want them to still be excelling in school. We want them to continue life as usual when everything around them is not usual at all. So I want to just for a few minutes, right here on ZDK Liberty Radio, share a bit or turn our attention rather to our young people and whatever it is that they might be experiencing mentally. And maybe if we can do that, then we can meet them where they are, and then we can help them a little bit better. So they had a rapid assessment, amplified the voices of 8,444 adolescent young people, and it was done between the ages of 13 to 29. And it was also done in 9 countries and territories in the region. The report gives an account of the feelings they face in the first month of the response to the pandemic and the situation in September. So then they found out that young women, which is the young ladies, boy, sometimes we see them acting up and we're not sure why they're acting up. But 27% of them feel anxiety, and 15% feel depressed. Okay, so that is something we need to pay attention to, and it is especially higher in our young ladies. Boy, we need to pay attention to our young people and what they're going through. Yes, good morning, Maria George. Good morning. She says she's doing some chores. Okay, let the young people do some chores too, right? Monica Wilshire, good morning to you too as well. I'm just going through some, a study that was done by UNICEF about the mental health of our young people in the season that we're in right now. And it said among the participants, again, reports 27% reported feeling anxiety and 15% depression in the last 7 days. For 30%, the main reason influencing their current emotion is the economic situation. Okay, so look at this. The disease in itself is already taking a toll, but the young people are concerned also about the economic situation that is going on, because they are the future. They are the ones looking forward to taking up the baton from the adults, and they're looking at the direction the world is going. And I can agree that can be a bit depressing, if you had all these grand plans and then this thing just came in and crushed it. And then they said there's the general situation in the countries and their localities has affected the daily life of young people, as 46% report having less motivation to do activities they usually enjoyed. 46% of the students who were studied, they have less motivation to do the activities they usually enjoy, and 36% feel less motivated to do regular chores. I mean, sometimes as adults, we don't feel motivated to do our own chores. And just imagine, young people, this is not an excuse, okay? But I'm just saying, we need to meet you where you are as a young person, as a teenager, as an adolescent, as a young person between the age of 13 to 29, just experiencing that. Also, their perception of the future has also been negatively affected, as I was saying, particularly in the case of young women who have and are facing particular difficulties. 43% of the women feel pessimistic about the future, compared to 31% of the male participants. All right, I'm going to get to a point when I'm finished reading these statistics to you, and to find out, what is it that we can do. We have 43% of our women feeling pessimistic about the future because of what is going on with this pandemic. I mean, wow. This is interesting. Among those who felt the need to ask for help, because sometimes, young people, you do suffer in silence, and maybe, the adults around us could make it a little bit more easier on us to be able to confide in you and to be able to speak to you about the things that we're suffering with. And among those who felt the need to ask for help regarding their physical and mental well-being, 1 in 3 ask for help from their closest circle and friends. Now, let me switch over to the adults for a minute. One thing that we may not know about young people, if a child is suddenly lashing out at school or lashing out at home and behaving in a particular way, sometimes that child is stressed out and does not know how to exit in a healthy manner. And then the adults, you as the adult, begin to get impatient with them, and you think, what is going on with my child? And you want to beat them, or you want to, lash back out at them. And what they really need is someone who would just listen and put them to sit down and say to them, what is going on. Ask them how they feel. And as I'm saying, we start off the show with gratitude. Maybe that's something the parents and families can practice together and say, okay, you know what? Maybe everything is not going as it should in life right now, but there's so much other things or so many other things rather that we can just be grateful for. I want to encourage a parent right now to speak to your child and make your child feel comfortable. If it's one thing I can boast about my mom is that she was a strict parent, but she also made it, made me feel comfortable enough to come to her, to speak to her about the things that were bothering me. And parents, I know that you might think you need to be your child's friend all the time, but you don't have to be. Sometimes you can be their friend, and there are other times when you have to put down the hammer. And our young people are going through a very difficult time. It's difficult for adults. So just imagine them who are younger and who are trying to make sense out of it. Young people, I know you agree with me. And if you are out there and if you are suffering in silence, I would like to encourage you to maybe speak to your teacher, speak to your mom, get her at a good time and speak to her and let her know, I really feel anxious about this whole thing. I really feel depressed about this whole thing. Maybe even your pastor, if you feel more comfortable, speak to your church, pastor or something like that. But it's something that you need to do. You need to speak about it, you need to express it, and it will help you to understand what is going on. Okay, good morning to you, Miss Bernadette Ephraim. Good morning to you, honey. It's nice to have you joining me again. We are just talking about the mental health of our young people in the COVID-19 pandemic, and we want to make sure that you guys are okay out there. All right, so I'm going through some statistics that were presented in an article by UNICEF that spoke about this. So I'm going to continue to mention a few more of that information for you. It says 3 out of 4 have felt the need to ask for help regarding their physical and mental well-being. Despite having felt the need to do so, 2 out of 5 did not ask for help. So we have 2 out of 5 not asking for help. What is happening to that percentage of our young people? Young people, you need to speak up. Do not allow anxiety and depression, of what the future could be like. I mean, look how quickly things changed with COVID, and this is what life is about. Things can change. It depends on your level of belief, your level of maturity, and how you choose to view it. Okay, so I want to speak to your minds this morning. I want to speak some life into you. You are still awesome. You are still the same person. You are still amazing. And what you could probably do is say, okay, so what can I learn from this? And difficult situations are meant, and crisis rather, they are meant to help us to become stronger. I'm sure your parents can attest to that and say, okay, I went through some rough times and yet I'm here today and I came out stronger. So I want to speak to my young people this morning, and I want to encourage you to try not to get too anxious about the situation, understandably so, but to start look for how can I learn to become better and to manage and to deal with crisis, which is what I'm coming to next. Okay, this figure rises to 43% in the case of women. Women again emotional, more than the guys. So I can see why this is the case. Health centers and specialized hospitals, 50%, followed by worship centers, 26%, and online services, 23%, are the main mechanisms where they would seek help if needed. So here's a few places you can find. The hospital, I forgot to mention, is also a place where they offer social services, and you can speak to someone there as well. Speak to a nurse, speak to a doctor, speak to someone. Do not suffer in silence, young people. And then, of course, if we are going to identify a problem, one of the things we want to make sure we do is to also, think about the solution. So I'm going to let this next song play. It's by Samuel Midas. He's also a young gospel artist there from Guyana. And he helps us to remember this amazing song. He gives us some encouragement in the song. And he's saying, don't you stop. Are you ready? Sometimes we're not always ready for life and what is going to throw at us. But we can try. Okay, so let's listen to this song by Samuel as we continue to discuss the mental health of our young people.
Remember when we started out with just one dream. Your sources could not be seen. Remember when you stayed up late at night trying to work out the indeed. Remember your passion, remember your drive, remember how you felt inside. Remember when you felt you could conquer the world, nothing was too high. But now the storms have passed your way. What you gonna do? Tell me what you gonna do. And the sun didn't shine today. What you tell me what you gonna do? The enemy's assignment is to bring you down, bring you disappointments from all around. Pray to receive inside of you, he'll help you to stand your ground. Push a little harder, go a little further, pray a little deeper. It's to keep you reach the finish line. Don't you stand ever bring out the God, cause you're ready. You never give up. You're ready. You got one for you. Tell them you're ready. Bring it on, bring it on. You're ready. Keep pressing. Remember the day when you risked everything just to make your dreams stay flat. Remember when people didn't understand your plans, but that was quite all. Remember your mission, remember your power. Remember how you
special good morning to Lornette Thomas and Lolita Mila. You're all locked in from New York. Thank you so much for joining. I just want to say good morning because the comments are going up and I don't want to miss your name. Good morning and thank you for joining me. Samuel Midas is on the radio from Guyana there, and he's encouraging us to, even though the assignment of the enemy is to bring us down, we're going to keep on pressing. Just enjoy this one with me. Do a little dance, shake it a little, do your little morning dance and exercise with me.
The road was nice, and if your dreams gon' leave, you gotta pay the price. You got to know your friends from your foes. In hard times, your faith must rise. Push a little harder, go a little further, pray a little deeper, clinging to the keeper till you reach the finish line. Don't you stop. Tell the devil bring all he got. There's already. Don't you stop, don't you stop. No, no, no. Tell them we're ready. You are one for them. Tell them you're ready. Don't you stop, no, no, no. Tell them you're ready. Don't you stop, I know it's looking like your darkest day, but it's your finest hour. Child of a king, you better use that power. You're a go-getter, so you gotta go get it. Setbacks may come to distract, but don't let it when your knees grow weak. Your faith gotta speak, every promise gotta keep, every goal you gotta meet. Yeah, the doubters will doubt, but the giants will fall. Walk in your purpose, answer the call, and you can't go soft, gotta go hard. You can't go soft, gotta go hard. Push a little harder, go a little further, pray a little deeper, clinging to the keeper. When opportunity comes knocking at your door, you're ready. Bring it on, bring it on, cause you're ready. Don't you stop, don't you stop for nothing.
Yes, Miss Eva May, I see you dancing with me, honey. Keep on shaking a leg. I mean, this is what life is about. There's seasons in, there's seasons out. We're just going to learn the lessons. We're going to pray a little harder. We're going to dig a little deeper and keep our minds focused on what our dreams are. Young people, you have visions, you have dreams, you have plans. And Youth Envision is right here to help you to stay on that path, no matter what it is. As long as you still have life, there is still purpose for you. So we're going to take this one back from the top as Samuel Midas encourages us with some good gospel soca on how we're going to keep on doing this, keep on braving through that season. Just remember how you did it and stay focused.
It's not about how you started, you stop, don't you start how you end. How you doing there? You stop. Remember when you started out with just one dream, your sources could not be seen. Remember when you stayed up late at night trying to work out the indeed. Remember your passion, remember your drive, remember how you felt inside. Remember when you thought you could conquer the world too high. What you gonna do? Tell me what you gonna do. and the sun didn't shine today. What you gonna do? Tell me what you gonna do. Listen to me. The enemy's assignment is to keep you down, bring you disappointments from all around. Greater is he that's inside of you. He let you to stand your ground. Push a little harder, go a little further, pray a little deeper, clinging to the keeper till you reach the finish line. Don't you stop. Till the devil
There is something that in Christianity faith where we say we put on the armor of God and we step forward and we keep on charging. I want young people to understand, if you're listening to me, the power of your mind and the power of belief, believing in yourself, believing that there is a God who's still looking over. Take that, you're gonna charge on through. You're gonna understand that everything is for a season and it's gonna pass, and while you're in the season, figure out what the lesson is. This is what life is about. Life is not always gonna be happy, and perfect, but what you want to do is to have a level of peace in your mind where you will be able to look at seasons and say, you know what, I'm not gonna let this tear me down. I'm gonna look for the lesson that I can learn from this. I'm gonna look for how, what is life trying to teach me? What is God trying to teach me? And as Miss Bernadette commented, and she said, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And all of us who are adults who have gotten to this level, we can attest that we have been through different seasons. We have been through different battles. I mean, we have some people who have lived through Hurricane David. So when Hurricane Maria came, they knew what to do. They knew how to improve. They knew how to excel. And as humans, we were designed to adapt. We were designed to grow. We were designed to be resilient. Designed to bound. So I want to encourage a young person this morning. You know what it is that your mind is telling you, can guard your thoughts, guard the things that you think. Yes, don't. Maybe also share that for you on Youth Envision, feeling a continued. It says, the youth share their formula about how they feel and to take care of their mental health. And I'm going to just read a few of that for you as we continue to listen to Samuel in the background there. It says, despite facing great difficulties, many adolescents and young people have found different ways to face new challenges and cope with their emotions. Thousands share their formula, and here's a few of them. One of them says, that is 15-year-old Ignacio from Argentina says, my formula has been to help in a community kitchen, to distract myself and not think about this pandemic. So this 15-year-old has decided, one of the ways that focus on helping somebody else, being something amazing to somebody else, can help you feel much better about yourself and shift your thoughts. Another one says, this is Rosa, 14-year-old Rosa from Guatemala says, my formula has been to read and write what makes me feel bad. I just mentioned that, writing about it, reading also. On many occasions, I have cried. Hey, it is okay to cry. If you're out there and you're hearing me and you're a young person, even the adults, it is okay to cry. All right, it is okay to cry. I have tried to distract myself by drawing or watching series. If you do have the time, why not? The COVID-19 has changed me a lot. I don't even recognize myself young. Okay, we do not have all the same possibilities to maintain our physical and emotional well-being. That's why I didn't hesitate to ask for help. And this is 17-year-old Roberto from Costa Rica. He's saying that, we do not have, all the same possibilities to maintain our physical. Some of our young people are stronger than the others, and then he said he asked for help. And that is something that you can do. My formula has been, keep myself busy. I have exercised more. Hey, I wrote an article because I do a little bit of blogging myself. I wrote an article on how you can manage your anger, which is also an emotion. And one of the things I wrote was exercise exercising. I mean, when you exercise, you release toxins, you just burn these things, and all of it comes out of your body. There's some scientific terms. I'll get back to you on that. But honestly, exercising helps. Go for a run, go for a jog, try doing some push ups, laugh at yourself if you can't make it to 5 or 2, and keep on trying. And he's also said, I have maintained a great attitude. That's Kristen, 17 years old from Jamaica, has mentioned that as well. Yeah. 22-year-old from Haiti says, no stress. James, 22-year-old from Haiti says, I don't have an exact formula. The only thing is that I try not to stress, avoid panic. Avoid panic. You can feel the panic coming on. You try your best to just shut it out. Say no. Say no. No, no, no. Just like we say no to drugs. You can actually just say no. No, I'm not going to think that. I'm going to distract myself with something more positive, and continue my normal routine. In the end, I told myself that stress does more damage than the virus itself. Yes, it does. So stress does more damage. And again, it's your self-talk. What are you saying to yourself? As Jao there from Brazil, a 17-year-old says, my formula was to change habits. Wake up early. That's what you need to do. Wake up early with Auntie Dear on Saturday mornings. Come on. Wake up early to be more productive. Self-awareness also helped me a lot. And that's what we want to hear from you young people. We want to hear that you have changed, you have grown from this season, you have turned, taken what a situation had to break you, and you have learned a lesson from it. This is very good stuff, from our young people there across the Caribbean. And you can find this article on unicef.org. Young people, if you want to go back and, share that as well. Also, I would like to hear from you. If you want to do a hashtag on our Facebook page and say, what is my formula as a young person to deal with COVID-19 pandemic? What is my formula to keep me sane? As a young person, I pray a lot. And I have that with no remorse. I pray about every single little tiny thing to even the biggest thing. Yes. So that's how I deal with it. I pray. I use music, as you can I love Samuel Midas. He's also a young singer. I love the music. I do a little dancing. I do a little exercising. Examine my self-talk. Try to be more positive. I also love nature, so I would go outside and just taking all the fresh oxygen that comes right out from the trees. It's a good time for us to just examine everything that we do, all our actions, how we go about our day, how we go about, everything that we do. It's a good moment to reflect. So those of you joining me again, this is Auntie Dia. This is Youth Envision on ZDK Liberty Radio. We are talking about the mental health of our young people in the COVID-19 pandemic. We want to, make sure we draw the attention to your mental health is important also. Because you work with these children, one of the things you can do when you design your lesson plans is to have spectrum in your lesson where you focus on something to just have the young people to de-stress. And I want to big up Miss Errol. She was one of my guests some time ago when she spoke about theater arts. And she did post on Facebook, Miss Zara Errol, my good friend there at Antigua Girls, I believe. She did a post where she showed, some table games that she was playing with her students. And her caption was saying, I need to find that post. Her caption was saying, basically, we need to distress. And that's what we want the teachers to be doing as well. Hats off to you. You are essential workers, teacher, in this season. And I just want to, encourage you. You can do something like that. Take a little page from Miss Zara's book right there, Miss Errol. So we can do that and just try to help the young people to, even when they're at school, to de-stress, to feel comfortable so that they can go ahead and learn. They need balance. Young people, you need balance, right? So yes, Auntie Dia. Yes, Auntie Dia. Yeah. So we're ready. Samuel Midas, take it away a little bit one more time so we can dance.
I know it's looking like your darkest day, but it's your finest hour. Child of a king, you better use that power. You're a go-getter, so you gotta go get it. Max may come to this track, but don't let it when your knees grow weak. Your faith gotta speak, every promise gotta keep, every goal you gotta meet. Yeah, the doubters will doubt, but the giants will fall. Walk in your purpose, Answer the call, and you can't go soft. Gotta go hard, harder, go a little further, pray a little deeper, bring it to the keeper. When opportunity comes knocking at your door,
Say we're ready.
don't you stop, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. Cause you're ready. Don't you stop, yeah, you're ready.
Miss so Miss Maria George is also giving us some points there on Facebook. She says, avoid controlling or conditional praise. She says, avoid comparison praise. Comparing the children there. And she says, praise their efforts. Yeah, we need to do that. We need to encourage our young people. We want to encourage you. If you're a young person, I'll be happy to hear from you as well. Let me know how you feel in this season. And I want you to know that you should get some help. You should speak to someone about how you're feeling. Don't be anxious and depressed on your own. Anxiety and depression is a very, very difficult thing. It could make you feel really bad about yourself, and it can cause you to lash out in ways that are unhealthy for you and even for others around you. So it's important that you speak up, young people. It's important that you find someone that you're comfortable with. Or as I said, if you feel like there's no one you can trust around you, there's always a God above that you can trust. You sit in a quiet place, sit in your bedroom, use your journal, write it down, say, this is how I feel, say a prayer, listen to some good music. This is a song there from Samuel Midas. It's called Ready. You can look up some of those. I know we love YouTube as young people. Get some music into your system, examine your self talk. There's also quite a few motivational videos that you can just look up and listen. Now is the time for you to do that. Find this, joy in the little things and laugh. And as I'm about to continue or conclude the last part of the show, I want to ask a question to everyone. I want to ask a question to us who are adults and who have the mantle to teach. I want to ask, how do we teach our children problem solving and conflict management skills? And as a teacher, I have always, who actually started understanding the education system. I am going to say that I do have an issue with the education system where, you know, problem solving and conflict management skills are concerned. I understand that we have four core subjects, we want to teach our children math, science, social studies, yes. But do we center a particular subject area that is directed towards teaching our young people how to deal with crisis, how to manage their emotions, how to manage their issues, how to deal with these things of life? Because life lessons are important, and that is why we need to be able to be taught things. I mean, some of these things we do in school, no offense, we don't even use them ever again in life. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to need algebra. But what I'm saying is we need to teach our young people, even and parents, you can do that. Teach our young people how to control their emotions, how to manage their emotions, how to solve problems, how to manage, conflict, because these things are part of life. And if you do not know how to deal with it, that's when you're gonna lash out and do all sorts of things, and then you're gonna be like, no, you behave this way, you're being bad. I mean, we cannot keep doing that. This is 2020. A pandemic is going on. We have to learn, and we have to do things differently. We need to introduce our children to conflict management, at a very early age. So as soon as they continue to grow up, they'll be able to handle life much better. We are training them to be our future leaders. So we have to make sure that we teach them and help them well. I'll give you an example. My niece, who's 14 years old, she had a little issue. She wanted her mom to get her something at the store, and then her mom was not able to. And then she began, to get a little, how teenagers get. Teenagers, you know how you get. So I called her on the phone and I said, okay, so your mom was not able to do it. What do you think you should do to make sure you still get it? How can you solve that? And that's how you teach them. You wait for the moment. Sometimes you speak to them about it, or sometimes the moments usually arise, and then you speak to the child. You ask, how do we handle this? What do you think we should do? Instead of just telling children, why you want for breakfast? or what do you want for lunch? We can ask them, what do you think? How do you think we can fix this? How do you think we can handle it? And we listen. Young people, I want you to be able to do that. And maybe you can speak to your parents and ask them, Mom, I would like to help out. I would like to say, maybe your child might have a point of view about an issue that is going on. And you might just be surprised. We need to spend more time listening to our young people, talking to our young people, not judging them so much and say, oh, you're bad, you're good. Everything is black and white. You're good or you're bad. There's always something else to look at. Do not judge the moment. Allow them to express certain things. Young people, you need to get to that place where if you're not being allowed to do it by the adults, do it amongst yourself as your friends. If the conflict arises among you and your friends, you can sit down and discuss real solutions and say, okay, so how can we solve this? How can we fix this? How can we deal with this? What can we do? How can we change? What should we add? What should we subtract? What should we multiply? How can we fix this? So these are just some questions that you can ask and ways that you can deal with it. So I would like to charge us for the rest of this next coming week, to just look at ways to deal with conflict amongst the young people, to look at ways to manage our emotions, manage your feelings, just dealing with all of these things, because that is a part of life. It's not just about getting 100% on your math test or your English test. Life lessons are very, very critical, because here's what: once you're finished with the school life, which you might think is so difficult right now, wait till you actually get out there and really face life. Okay, so you want to make sure, like Samuel says, you want to make sure that you're ready, so you can boast and say, come on, bring it on. I am ready and I got this. By the grace of God, I can do this. So this is what I want to look at again this morning. I just want to go back over from the top, the mental health of our young people. Young people, again, I'm encouraging you, whatever you're feeling in this time, in this season, speak about it with someone, speak about it, make jokes about it, write poems about it, exercise, find different ways to express yourself that's healthy, read different books, unlock off the news. Sometimes you don't need to see all the news. You don't need to pay attention to all of it. Okay, that is one of the things you can do as well. And I just want to encourage those who are in authority, who have the young people at their care, to just help them, teach them problem solving skills, teach them conflict management skills, teach them how to deal with a crisis. Because whether you want to believe it or not, in crisis, quite a few things and talents are born. Okay, so it's, again, don't judge the moment and label it as good or bad, but just look for the lesson and see if you can learn it. This is Youth and Vision on ZDK Liberty Radio. I am your host, Auntie Dia. And for the next 8 minutes, we're going to switch into what really is going on this time. We're easing it into the Christmas season. And our young people, again, they released a very nice video on YouTube. So I'm hoping that my tech guy has gotten that one from me. And I'm going to be sharing it with you this morning. So we're just going to listen to that one as we continue to enjoy our show.
Brightly shining is the long live a while in thin and narrow pining till he appeared, and the soul felt this world.
So, if you are just joining me, this is a cover of "Oh Holy Night" that was done by Miss Delcia Phillip, among some other colleagues of hers, young people there, right here in Antigua. We have so much talent amongst the young people, which I'm always so grateful to share. Check it out on YouTube. It's available on YouTube. It's called "Oh Holy Night" cover by Delcia Phillip. The picture is saying something else, but that's the name. You can find it there, and you can listen to it. I mean, amazing talent that we have right here in Antigua, produced right here in Antigua. Young people, you're doing great. I just want to encourage you this morning. I just want to big you up this morning for a great work. I know going into the Christmas season and just enjoying that. Oh Holy Night is one of the most powerful Christmas hymns, and it's really amazing to see our young people are right on top of their game, and they already released such a great production. So I look forward to what else will be coming up. I'm hoping to have different things coming up, and the more songs coming from you on the show on Youth Envision, because as we do, we try to promote our culture. So it's so exciting to be able to have you, produce that, and then we can share it on the show. So I want to thank you so much again for joining me on another Saturday morning. It's always a pleasure. It's always great to be here with you. And as I'm about to take my leave, I'm going to leave this song with you one more time. So you just enjoy it. You know, it's Christmas season. And, it's all about how you feel, how you see it, how you view it. Remember that. It's all about your perspective there. You have a choice, okay? So there we go. Oh Holy Night cover by Delcia Phillip right there on our radio. Well, young lady, you have voice. You have a voice. It would be nice to have you on the show if you would like to share about that experience with that song. I know we had another young lady some time ago who also produced a very good song for Antigua Independence. Remember when they made that one? Yeah, I'm trying to remember her name. Help me remember her name. But this is it for me this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for commenting. Nikki Debris, you just joining in. Good morning to you, darling. Good morning. She said, sing, Mon, sing. I know, right? She's got some pipes. Yeah, so we want to big up our young people. Remember, your mental health is important, okay? Remember, your mental health is important. So we want to make sure that you're okay. I want to make sure that you are okay. We want you to know that Youth and Vision and Anti-Dia and ZDK Liberty Radio is here for you. So if you need us, let us know. Let us know how we can help you and be there for you. Yes, this is Youth and Vision. Join me again next week, Saturday morning, 8 a.m. By God's grace, we're going to continue this and just have a good time waking up with Auntie Dia. See you guys next week. God bless.
Life sweet when your bills them paid. Got you covered, got your bills them paid. Easy squeeze, got your bills them paid. It's a stress-free year, got your bills them paid. I want your name. Bill free, bill free, bill free. Everybody sing with me.
Live bill free in 2021.
Yes. Car note insurance, your house. I
internet will have all your bills them pay.